If you're part of Gen Z, like a lot of you watching right now, you've probably felt this deep in your bones. The economy feels stacked against you from day one. You hustle with side gigs, entry-level jobs, maybe even a degree, but rent devours your paycheck. Student loans hang over your head like a cloud, and saving for anything big seems like a fantasy. The old line is that if you're struggling, you're just not grinding hard enough. But let's be real. That's not the full story. Being young and trying to build a life in 2026 is brutally expensive in ways that hit harder for our generation. The system charges extra for the basics when you're starting out, locks you into debt cycles early, and makes climbing out feel impossible, while those already ahead keep pulling further away. This isn't random bad luck. It's a structural trap, and today we're breaking it down with real numbers from right now. We'll walk through a typical day, show how the costs pile up invisibly, and end with practical moves to fight back. Let's get into it. Start with waking up for work. If you've got one of those flexible remote or hybrid setups, maybe tech, creative, or salaried white collar, you might roll out of bed at 8:55, log in, and call it good. Solid sleep, no rush. But for so many Gen Zers in service, retail, food, or entry-level roles that require showing up in person, it's different. Those jobs cluster where rent's sky high. So to keep housing somewhat affordable, you end up farther out, suburbs, outskirts, whatever works. The average one-way commute across the U.S. is about 27 minutes now, but for lower-income or younger workers relying on buses, older cars, or long routes, it's often 40 to 60 minutes or more each way. That adds up fast, easily 1 to 2 hours a day, or 200 to 400 hours a year lost. Time you could spend learning skills, picking up extra shifts, or just recharging from burnout. And you're paying for it too. Public transit? In most American cities, it's underfunded compared to Europe. America spends way less per person, so buses are slow, unreliable, infrequent. A 30-minute drive can turn into 90 minutes on transit. So a lot of us get a car. But starting out with limited credit, low savings, or no cosigner means an older used one. Repairs hit hard. Older cars can easily run $1,000 or more a year in fixes. Gas mileage is worse than newer efficient models, adding hundreds in fuel costs. Insurance rates are higher for young drivers. Total car ownership? Often $10,000 to $12,000 a year when you factor in everything. Wealthier peers, or those with family support, live closer to jobs, drive reliable cars, or skip the hassle altogether. You're paying a hidden poverty premium just to get to work every day. You finally make it in, maybe a bit late because the bus was delayed or your car acted up again. Your manager knows the spot you're in. Living paycheck to paycheck, can't easily walk away. Low-wage Gen Z jobs often come with unpredictable schedules. Last-minute shifts, no real say in days off, forced overtime. You can't plan a second gig, night classes, or even basic appointments reliably. Studies show many in these roles have almost zero control over their time. Quit? Risk not making rent or falling behind on bills. Right now, over 60 to 70% of Gen Z report living paycheck to paycheck, with little to no emergency cushion. Compare that to stable salaried positions, negotiate flexibility, remote options, better pay. Having leverage changes everything, and a lot of us start without it. Lunchtime hits, chaotic hours, and long commutes leave zero time for meal prepping? You grab fast food, delivery, or whatever's quick and cheap. Healthy options cost more. Fresh produce, proteins add up fast, especially in areas with limited grocery access. Cheaper processed stuff leads to health issues over time. Higher obesity rates in lower-income spots, medical costs that snowball. In America's system, even with insurance, high deductibles bite young people hard. Then you head home. Another long commute. Housing is the killer right now. Rents and home prices have exploded. About 2/3 of Gen Z, around 67%, struggle to afford rent or a mortgage. Many pay 30 to 50% or more of income just on shelter, leaving scraps for everything else. Older buildings mean worse insulation, higher utility bills. Low-income households often spend 2 to 3 times more of their income on energy despite using less. No in-unit laundry? That's $300 to $500 a year at laundromats, plus hours wasted. Wealthier folks get efficient homes, built-in amenities, lower relative costs. You pay more for less comfort, paycheck drops. But autopay bills drain it fast. Overdraft fees still sting. Average around $27 per hit at many banks, even as some cut or eliminate them. Banks pull in billions yearly from these. Gen Z gets slammed early with debt. Student loans averaging $20,000 to $30,000 or more for those who borrowed, plus credit cards, buy now pay later traps at high rates, 20% plus APRs compounding quick. Need emergency cash? Payday loans can hit 400% APR. Wealthier people access low-rate loans, invest, earn 7 to 10% returns on stocks or funds. Stock wealth is super concentrated at the top. Compound interest works magic when you start with more. $100 a month over 30 years builds something solid, but $1,000 a month builds life-changing wealth. Gen Z often starts negative, debts higher than assets, delaying homes, families, everything. This trap isn't about laziness. Gen Z grinds, multiple jobs, hustle culture, but the system extracts extra at every turn. Commute penalties, fee traps, debt cycles, basics priced out of reach. Housing costs outrun wages, student debt hits before peak earnings, car-dependent life punishes those without reliable wheels. But here's the good part. It's not hopeless. You can chip away at it with smart moves. Switch to fee-free banking. Chime, Ally, Capital One, or credit unions often skip overdrafts entirely. Set low balance alerts. Keep a separate account just for bills so autopay doesn't nuke your main one. For transport, crunch the numbers. Sometimes public transit saves money overall when you count car payments, gas, maintenance, and time. If buying a car, go certified pre-owned with a warranty. Get pre-approved through a credit union for better rates. Avoid leasing. Food, meal prep on off days. Bulk rice, beans, chicken, frozen veggies. Hunt sales, use digital coupons, check food assistance if you qualify. Housing. Roommates to split costs, energy hacks like weather stripping. Get on subsidized wait lists early, even if you don't need it yet. Debt. Call credit card companies to negotiate lower rates, look at 0% balance transfers for breathing room. Skip payday loans. Seek nonprofit counseling or alternatives. Build ahead, grab any 401k match, it's free money. High-yield savings for 4% plus interest. Micro-invest small amounts weekly through apps. Check Medicaid or community clinics for health. Use discount pharmacies like GoodRx. None of this is your fault. The system wasn't designed for easy entry in 2026. Schools don't teach it, and waiting for big fixes might take forever. But these steps create breathing room, reduce the extra tax on being young and starting out. You're not lazy, you're navigating a tougher field. Poor and young means working harder, paying more, getting less. Rich means easier paths, rewards for the same effort. Acknowledging that is the first step. If this hit home, drop in the comments.